All right, good morning, everybody. If you can, go ahead and find your seats. We'll get started. Get your coffee, get your water. Everybody get prepared. Nice, energetic morning today. Good morning, everyone. I'm Danny Akins. I'm the Vice Chair of the Adam H. Board of Trustees. It's been my pleasure to serve with that group for the last few years. And it's an honor to welcome you to our 2025 annual meeting on behalf of our board chair, Donna Zeiderwig, from the Columbus Public Library, who's traveling, couldn't be with us today, but we've been privileged to experience her leadership on the board for the last year and a half. So she sends her greetings, and we wish her safe travels. Our mission, our avocation, our job here at Adam H. is to plan, fund, and evaluate mental health and addiction services. But the providers and the organizations in this room are the individuals and the organizations that make it all happen. You, our providers, our community partners, are what turn our vision for accessible, affordable, and quality behavioral health care into reality. Thank you for your leadership, your collaboration, and your commitment to the people of Franklin County. I'd also like to express my gratitude to my colleagues on the board, both past and present, of the Board of Trustees for their guidance, for their expertise, for their insights. And at this time, I'd like to ask my fellow board members, both past and present, if they're able to please rise and be recognized. I got to tell you, on a personal level, apart from my job and everything else, that I do find service with the board with this group of fellow Franklin County residents to be one of the professional highlights of my career, and I'm grateful to serve with every last one of you. Adam H. could not do its work without the ongoing support of our public officials. Please join me in recognizing our local officials that have joined us today. I'd like to recognize Dr. Nate Overmeyer, Coroner of Franklin County. And State Representative Crystal Lett. I'd also like to thank our other partners from the state, the Ohio Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services, our Franklin County officials, our city government officials, and other folks from the state of Ohio. Please recognize all of them. With the steadfast support and dedication from providers and community partners, Adam H. made substantial strides over the past year, strengthening a system of care to meet the community's ever-changing needs for mental health and addiction services. The system of care serves as our community's behavioral health safety net. It's made possible through the generosity of our fellow Franklin County taxpayers and citizens who fund nearly 3/4 of the Adam H. budget with a single property tax levy. Adam H. is once again asking and seeking support from voters this fall to sustain vital mental health and addiction services and to deliver on the promise of the Franklin County Crisis Care Center. We are grateful for the tremendous outpouring of support for the levy from providers and partners alike. Friends of Adam H. are in the lobby, and I encourage you to stop by the table to both gather information and learn more about the levy. Get your yard sign and let's get them out there. Primarily with levy dollars, Adam H. invested more than $100 million on community services in 2024. These investments supported more than 50 neighborhood agencies delivering mental health and addiction services in every Franklin County zip code, serving nearly 100,000 people. 6 systems of care: crisis, prevention, treatment, recovery, housing, and family supports. Programs and services that Adam H. investments enable include prevention and intervention services in 16 Franklin County school districts, 5 mobile response teams that now operate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, the recent opening of the newly constructed Franklin County Crisis Care Center. None of this happens without the community-based agencies that participate in the Adam H. network of care. Later in the program, we will have the opportunity to recognize some of their outstanding contributions. I would also like to recognize the Adam H. team for their ongoing hard work and commitment to making Adam H.'s mission a reality. They are led by their CEO, Erica Clark Jones, a remarkable leader, a tremendous asset to our community, and I now welcome Erica to the stage.
Well, good morning. It's always a great time of year to come together and celebrate with you, talk about our collective accomplishments and where we're going in the future. Thank you, Vice Chair Eakins. It's an honor to serve with you as well and our other trustees. And thank you for your leadership and your service, ongoing service, even when times get tough. And thanks to all of you for joining us, our dedicated providers, our vital community and government partners, and of course, our hardworking AdamH team. I think you saw a lot of them in the parking lot this morning. They'll do anything, right? Other duties as assigned, they are there. So much has transpired since we last gathered here. Most recently, the opening of the Franklin County Crisis Care Center and the AdamH levy renewal on this November's ballot. Yes, thank you. This past year, your AdamH board remained focused on delivering on our promises. Promises to you, our incredible network of providers and partners, and to the people of this county. Our guiding light, our North Star, is ensuring that every Franklin County resident has access to quality behavioral health care, regardless of their insurance status or their ability to pay. And we don't do it without the dedicated professionals who provide these vital services every single day. And we certainly can't claim success if there are gaps in our services that allow some of our most vulnerable in our community to slip through the cracks during a time of crisis. This year, as we continue to maintain the behavioral health safety net that Danny spoke of, we've also made significant strides in two critical areas that I'd like to highlight today: strengthening our workforce and launching our full crisis care continuum. These achievements were not accomplished overnight. They actually are the result of years of collaboration, planning, and innovative thinking, as well as courage, not just within our AdamH network, but across the entire community. For our network, workforce development is not just a buzzword. It's the lifeline of our current and our future services. The need for behavioral health services is great, and it continues to grow. 1 in 4 Franklin County adults will face mental illness this year. Franklin County's population growth it's been 24% since 2000, and it is expected to grow by another 9% by 2030. The prevalence of mental illness and substance use disorders was increasing before the pandemic, and evidence supports that the pandemic has only accelerated this trend. Over the last 5 years, Franklin County's suicide rate has been increasing. Much of this trend is accounted for by teens, older adults, and males, whose suicide rate is 5 times higher than that of females. To meet these demands on our system of care, we must have a trained, engaged, and representative workforce to support people on their wellness journey. You, our providers, have long told us that workforce challenges impact your ability to serve the community. That was one of the first things that I heard when I started at AdamH in January of 2020. And we've heard you. In response, at the 2022 annual meeting, we announced here at this forum the launch of the AdamH Workforce Development Council. Many of you in this room rolled up your sleeves and joined that council, and your work has already produced noteworthy results. Thank you to Carolina Trindaggi, AdamH Senior Director of Human Resources, and to Dee Malone, AdamH Vice President of Advocacy and Engagement, for guiding this Workforce Council. To our partner, Dawn Tyler Lee of 4th Street Consulting, for helping bring collective vision to reality. And to those who serve on the Workforce Development Council, displayed on the screen, for your time, your expertise, and your commitment to enhancing the behavioral health profession. From the Council's focus on leadership development, an innovative idea was born, at least for our profession, which was a local leadership academy designed to empower those on the front line of service. We understood that to truly serve our community, we must first invest in the leaders who will guide our future. In August, we graduated our very first cohort, 16 professionals who now have additional tools, knowledge, and support to lead with confidence and to innovate with purpose. This academy is a testament to the power of partnership. It was made possible through a grant from the Ohio Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services, distributed through our partnership with Aspire, and guided by Mental Health America of Ohio. This innovative training is already becoming a model for the state, with other counties beginning to replicate its success. We're also focused on the next generation of behavioral health professionals. This fall, we also launched the Pathways to Practice, a hands-on learning experience designed to introduce students to careers in our field. We currently have 10 Columbus State students placed for internships at many of our provider agencies within the community and AdamH. We're already beginning to work to expand this program with a pilot set to begin next year with The Ohio State University. Yes, I think that's an applause for it. Thank you. Of course you would. And this year, our community also reached a monumental milestone. We completed the infrastructure to provide a full continuum of crisis care services, or as we like to say, someone to call, someone to come, and somewhere to go. For the first time in a long time, we have a fully supported behavioral health continuum that does not have to rely on law enforcement as the default response to a mental health or addiction crisis. Thank you. This is a game changer for our community. We are so grateful for the vision of the many individuals, families, first responders, and behavioral health providers who came together and said, we can and we will do better. We now have someone to call. The 988 hotline, now in its third year of operation, is here in Franklin County. North Central Mental Health Services and NetCare Access are responding to more than 3,000 calls a month, with over 90% of these calls resolved on the phone so that no one ever is dispatched. But when there has to be a dispatch, someone to come, there are now 5 AdamH-supported mobile response teams in our community, pairing a clinician with a peer. Dispatched through 988 and operated by NetCare Access, these teams work around the clock to stabilize individuals in the community and provide follow-up support. We have featured these vital responders at past AdamH annual meetings, and we did so for a good reason. These teams were dispatched just in the month of June alone 114 times. Thank you, NetCare Access, for your support. And somewhere to go. As of September 2nd, just 2 weeks ago, there is an additional place to go with the opening of the Franklin County Crisis Care Center. This 24/7 facility expands our community's ability to provide timely, compassionate, clinically appropriate support to adults in crisis. It's not a replacement for the critical work our network is already doing. It is a powerful complement to our entire system of care. Laying this foundation for enhanced crisis care has been years in the making. It takes years for everything around here, doesn't it? It's years in the making, and it involved the contributions of so many. Our partners at Franklin County and the City of Columbus, the adult-serving hospital systems, including Mount Carmel Health, Ohio Health, and the Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center, the members of our Crisis Care Advisory Council for informing this work, our AdamH providers for your willingness to come together to find ways to continually strengthen the network's ability to serve our community's needs, to the AdamH Board of Trustees for your bold leadership, and Recovery Innovations, the operator of the Franklin County Crisis Care Center, for bringing a new approach to delivering crisis care to our community. We will hear from the President and CEO, David Covington, a little later in our program. And I'd also like to take this opportunity on the big stage to thank the amazing Adam H. team. Every staff member had a role in bringing us to this point. A special thank you to Mr. Jonathan Thomas, Chief Operating Officer, for leading the planning and construction of the Franklin County Crisis Care Center. Ms. Sue Valillo, Vice President of Clinical Services and Provider Relations, for guiding the launch of community-based mobile teams and making 988 and 911 interoperability a reality in our community. And Mr. Rob Leonardo, Senior Director of Data and Analytics, and Mr. Ben Tryon, Data Manager, for building a dashboard that will allow us to make informed decisions and continue to improve how we respond to those in crisis. The roots of this full continuum have been planted, and our ongoing task is to water and nurture these new community components. We know that new and refreshed processes take time for the community to embrace, and we will continue our vital collaboration with our public safety partners. With us today, I have the honor of introducing my friend and colleague, Columbus Chief of Police, Elaine Bryant, to speak about the critical intersections of law enforcement and the mental health community, what we've learned, and what the future will hold. Under her leadership, not only has the homicide rate gone down, right? Yes, significantly, by the way. Under her leadership, the Columbus Division of Police has made great strides in how to respond to behavioral health emergencies. You have no idea how affirming it is to have a partner in law enforcement as we work through our community's challenges together. This is how we build better. Please join me in welcoming Columbus Police Chief, my chief, Elaine Bryant, to the stage.
Good morning. So thank you for the invitation and for creating the space for collaboration. When you talk about collaboration, it's so important because there's not one person that can get this done. It takes every single person in this room. It takes the entire community to be able to make a difference. Police are often the first point of contact for someone that's in a mental health crisis, but the question is that the right response? That's the question we all have to ask. And oftentimes, it may not be the right response, which is why 911 and public safety created the right response. They wanted to make sure that there were clinicians that sat next to call takers to make a determination and be able to assess, is this the person that we should be sending to this call? I want to recognize Dr. Mashika Roberts from Columbus Public Health, and her partnership has been really amazing for us. So thank you for your partnership. We understand enforcement isn't always the first response, and so it's important that all of our officers are crisis intervention trained, all of them. When they come through the academy, they get the training, but we also ensure that our veteran officers are also trained when they come through as well. So we want to make sure that everyone has that training. But we also have a mobile crisis response team. Lieutenant Voorhees, raise your hand. They have advanced crisis intervention training, and their sole mission is to respond to mental health crisis. They also respond with the clinicians so that when they get there, they have the resources and the tools to be able to help people when they're in that need. We also have the REACT team, which consists of fire, police, and clinicians from across Franklin County, and again, Dr. Mashika Roberts and her team. So they address mental health and addiction, which is extremely important. So we, again, don't want to respond to a call and we have to use force unnecessarily when there's another way to be able to help these individuals. So thank you for that. This Franklin County Crisis Center has been a game changer for law enforcement. I cannot tell you how long we have been waiting and anticipating the opening of this. This 24/7 access to specialized treatment center gives officers and residents an alternative besides long waits in the emergency room and or jail. It provides immediate real-time care for individuals experiencing mental health or addiction crisis. and it strengthens collaboration between law enforcement, health providers, and the community. And it reduces strains on officers while ensuring individuals get the right kind of help from experts. And it also benefits our community. It provides more compassionate outcomes for individuals in crisis. It reduces repeat calls for services. It strengthens trust between community members and law enforcement, and it reinforces the police department's commitment to safety care to all of our residents. So when we talk about Stronger Together, it's not just a theme, it's the reality when first responders, healthcare providers, and community leaders unite. Columbus Police will continue to stand along Adam H. and community partners to build a safer and healthier future for everyone. Thank you for this great collaboration. Now, I'm very excited to introduce our next speaker, CEO and President for Recovery Innovations and a national leader in the behavioral health field, David Covington.
What exactly is care that feels like care?
Facilities are designed to make sure it's welcoming to everyone that needs services. We do a no wrong door policy, so anyone that needs services can come to this facility and receive the care that they need.
Our officers can pull right up, be met by staff. They actually have a break room where they can go sit, do their reports, do the things they need to do to get back on the street, but also make sure that people get the services that they need.
In a lot of programs, you would see a plexiglass fishbowl kind of a space, staff on one side and the guests on the other. We've actually found counterintuitively, this is safer because of the level of engagement. You don't create and foster sort of tension that can go on.
This is what happens when a community comes together. Our partnership is critical. I hope that you see how you fit into the fabric of our community. This is a community where we care for people, and this is an exhibit of that.
How many of you were involved in any shape, fashion, or form with the design, planning, input? You've toured. How many were supportive of that? So that's the vast number of people in the room. Chief Bryant, thank you so much for that introduction, for your leadership and all the work. Police in Ohio have already brought 80 individuals to the Crisis Care Center in the first 2 weeks. So terrific. And the vision that Columbus is putting forth is now on the lips of all 50 states. Everyone is watching what we're doing here. Erica, you were referencing the National Council is coming here in 2 years because of the leadership that you're providing. So Erica, Jonathan, everyone who raised their hand, everyone who's been a part of this or is a partner to this, thank you. We're thrilled to be the operator. And Jonathan, already Dr. Chuck Joy and the team are talking about the benefits of the thoughtful design that you put into the way things flow, the way things run. It's just tremendous. We're loving it. So let's talk about the power of vision and go back to a parallel system that used to look like the boutique mental health, substance use, suicidal crisis response system we have in the United States today, and that's the medical response system. This is the phone book, the inside of the phone book. For those of you who don't know what a phone book is, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But this is from the year I was born, and we used to have this. This is the first page on the inside. It has this big exclamation point to let you know it's important. Emergency numbers. And this is the full page. What's the emergency number for police on this page? Can y'all?
988.
The 988 isn't on here. 911 is not on here. In fact, there's no number on here at all. What you're supposed to do, you have to look in the upper right. You're supposed to go down to the bottom of the page, figure out which of these numbers might apply to you. Call that number, double check, write that number into the space at the top, pull this page out, tape it to your refrigerator, and make sure your emergency is in the kitchen. That's the system that we had. Now, I think we can all imagine a time when there was no 911 and you called and called and called. But more than that, there was no ambulance to come to you. The first 911 call was answered in 1968. You could go forward 12 years to 1980, and John Lennon was shot in the back 5 times right off of Central Park in the biggest city in the United States, one of the most famous people in the world. He was transported to the hospital. How? Wasn't in an ambulance. Chief Bryant, how was he transported to the hospital? He was in a police car. Because that's what we did. A bystander, a family member. We used hearses. We used coroner's vans. We did not have a system. If you got to the hospital, we had hospitals. But the hospital emergency department was locked. There was a bell you had to ring. Maybe someone came to that door. If they did come to the door, they just propped it. You didn't just walk inside. Is your physician on panel with the hospital? They served who they wanted to. Erica, you started with a system for everyone. We didn't have a system for everyone. We had a system for the ones that we wanted to serve and not others. But that all changed in 1966, the same year, and it changed because of this question. Now, how many of you have been involved or know what the Crisis Jam is? Okay, we've got a few Crisis Jammers out there. It's a national learning community for 988 and everything that should bring. So we do a trivia question every week, and here's today's trivia question for you. In 1966, a landmark report outlined the building blocks of the modern emergency medical response system that would go on to save countless lives. What real-world example did the authors point to saying the U.S. could and should do much better? Now, we'd bring the band back up for me to have some background, but I don't have that, so I'll just bring up the answers. Okay, here they are. A, earthquake disaster response. B, Grady Hospital in Atlanta, one of the busiest hospital emergency departments in the United States. C, London's cholera epidemic. Or D, Battlefront Vietnam. How many think it's A? No A's in the room? How many think it's B? You gotta raise your hand for an answer. Okay, thank you, B's. C. D. Okay, you didn't raise your hand because you're too shy. A lot of D's. The answer is D. It was Battlefront Vietnam. Again, back to the rotary phones and the phone books that you're not aware of. Many of you probably never heard of the television show MASH, but it showed that emergency response system in the war front. And in World War I, if you were injured on the battlefront but survived, about 10% of those individuals died. By World War II, it was down to 5%. In Korea, it was 2.5%. And by Vietnam, pictured here, it was 2%. Why did they make those improvements? Because of coordination, immediate response and treatment and triage in the field, transport to trauma centers. It was all about a very basic set of things. And that report said, frankly, during the Vietnam War, you were better off being in a Jeep accident or getting shot on the front lines of Vietnam versus being in any city in the United States, because we had no 911, no ambulances, and no emergency departments that you could just walk into. Now, all of that has changed. Over the next 30 years in particular, we built out the promise of 911, and we built out emergency response. Right now, my guess is in Columbus, you're going to have if we call 911 from this room, we'll have a police chief here in 0 seconds. That's what I'm thinking. But EMS will be here, chief, 3 minutes, 4 minutes on average. Can be faster, but certainly in 3 or 4 minutes. In a rural area, 10, 15 minutes. Nationwide, that's the system we have. And emergency departments, we no longer see pregnant mothers sent off to another emergency department because we're not going to serve them. That was in the 50s and 60s and even into the 70s. That doesn't happen anymore. We have a system for anyone, anywhere, anytime, if it's a medical emergency. But if your worst day is not a car accident or a gunshot, but rather a suicidal crisis, a substance use crisis, or a mental health crisis, then in the United States, what do? We just look just exactly like the emergency medical system looked back in the 60s. We have a boutique system that serves some individuals, but leaves others to our vital public safety net services of law enforcement and hospitals. It's a costly system. It's a frustrating system. It's not a dignified system. And Columbus is showing a vision that it can be done differently. So 30 years from now, someone like me will be on a stage somewhere and they'll say, who inspired the country back? Was it the cholera epidemic? Was it Columbus, Ohio? It was Columbus, Ohio, who showed us it could be done differently. Unfortunately, the way the system works, now 988 is emerging in every community across the country. And if your crisis can be averted by 988, that's starting to happen everywhere. But we're a little bit like the country in the 70s when we had 911, but no ambulance to send to you, no hospital you could get in. So if your needs are more intensive, then you're stuck with the same system in most communities that we've always had, that you have to go to a hospital in order to be medically cleared, and then maybe you will, and maybe you won't. We call it the gauntlet to get into care. That's the system we have in today. And what does that do to our system? Well, one thing it does is it distracts and moves our law enforcement, police call it wall time, where they're just standing up against a wall. We're looking them to be the attendants, the Uber, the combination of things. It's not effective for them, puts them in an impossible situation, and it's very costly for our hospitals, one of the major drivers for how we got here in the first place. So the system we have in the United States today around crisis care is that boutique system we used to have with the medical emergencies. The door is locked, ring the bell. Someone may or may not come to the door. If they come, they prop the door open and they look out to see who you are. What's your crisis? Who's your payer? On and on. Will or will not serve you. That's not an anyone, anywhere, anytime, everyone system. So Erica beat me to it. Someone to call. Today that's 988. Someone to come. That's our mobile crisis teams as an enormous resource that puts police in a different situation. Look, we're always going to need police and we're going to need hospitals for crisis care. But we're going to need them for that 5% or fewer who actually have also a need for one of those resources. If there's an actual threat to public safety, we need our police partners. If there's a physical health medical emergency, we need our medical providers. But that's not the case in the vast majority. And finally, the linchpin to this, because we now see communities around the country standing up mobile crisis. But at the end of the day, if you do not have a Franklin County Crisis Care Center receiving center You really haven't changed the way things actually work for those in more intensive needs. They're going to go into a hospital and be stuck there over and over again. So look, we've been going for 15 days now, Joy. And I want to acknowledge our RI leadership here and our board members. We have Shannon Jacquard, our board chair for many years out of San Diego, Ronald Forbes, also a member of our executive committee out of Virginia. If you can welcome them to the Columbus family. But the partners, I've already referenced, the police partners have brought us 80 individuals already. EMS, Mobile Crisis have brought us individuals. Then we have terrific folks, Troy McGaw, our nurse practitioner from OSU, helping provide physical health on site. We've done stitches. So Jonathan, for facilities like this, where they do exist, what we're doing is saying, instead of police taking everyone to a hospital, and maybe they will get into a facility, maybe they won't, the police just bring people to these facilities, they drop them off, and they drive away. Now, I think even here, some of our law enforcement partners said, sure, that's going to be what happens. That is what happens. They drive up, they drop the person off. We have a great room they can spend some time in if they want to, but they're free to go back to their job protecting the public. And then we, on our side, if they have a medical need, we're attending to that ourselves. Now, if you do this, usually about 1 in 20 individuals lands up needing something medical. We've owned that, so we have to get them somewhere. But Jonathan's goal was to cut that dramatically with the new resources and supports. And right now we're, in 2 weeks in, it's about 2.5% that are landing up needing more. Uptown Pharmacy, who's helping us with our discharge meds. Jeff Klinger from the Hospital Association with the bed board. Dr. Robert Lowe, emergency medical with Ohio Fire. So many of you are already engaged in this work. It's a team sport, and we really appreciate every one of you looking forward to making this work together. Our 988 team, again, this is, how many of you saw the 988 billboard when it was up a few weeks ago, right there in downtown? And these are some pictures already of law enforcement coming, dropping folks off, and getting back to the street. So they're coming. We haven't yet had a picture like we've had in Peoria, Arizona, where we've had 5 police cars show up at the same time. We've had 5 show up in our North Carolina facility at the same time yet. But that's the way it happens when you start doing it this way and you give that alternative, which means that people will get access immediately to supports and care. What we're learning, and it's really good, the approach of having a 988 with mobile crisis services for those who need more and facilities that are directly accessible is getting national attention. The research behind it is showing that people's lives are saved. The number of individuals who report that a call to 988 and engage with mobile crisis or impact in these facilities made the difference in them staying alive is dramatic. And then Erica leaned in to the power of these services to divert people from law enforcement and hospitals. That's showing up in the research, but it's also showing up in the costs. This is some research Matthew Goldman did by looking at all the Medicaid claims in Arizona. And you can see that the number of individuals who are served just by mobile crisis and don't land up needing more, just by facilities. A lot of us have said these sort of things, but it's different when you go into the Medicaid claims, the actual bills themselves, and look at the way it works. And the lower cost, shorter stays, less restrictive. This is the least expensive way to do it by far. And yet communities haven't done this because it just hasn't been set up that way. The other piece to this is the power of this new approach to bring dignity and not fear. The most caring, loving law enforcement who pulls me over for a traffic stop still gives me anxiety, right? Chief Bryant telling me yesterday, David, you're walking in the middle of the street. You know, that's the one area we still have numbers on, is people getting hit by, pedestrians in Columbus. The law enforcement coming to us is not to our home is not what we're all looking for on a day-to-day basis. What we're looking for is people like ourselves engaged with us. Now, we have our police partners, our hospital partners, we have medical and clinical and nursing professionals, but the heart of this work is increasingly done by people with lived experience. In the call centers, in the mobile teams, and in the facilities themselves. Peers who are helping shape the engagements and the collaboration. We call it the fusion model of bringing together the best medical clinical practices with the recovery and strength approach that we see with our peers. So it's changed our language, it's changed our culture. We refer to individuals as guests when they're on our retreat. You do not see the obvious sort of divisions that occur when we have plexiglass, what are called fish bowls, where the staff are hidden behind the glass and the individuals who are being served on the other side. So peers are really empowering and fueling a different response in these programs. Recovery Innovations, we have thousands of employees across the country. More than 50% of them are people with lived experience. They've been homeless. They've been in the back of that police car. They've been in a crisis themselves. They come in and then they want to be a part of what we do and end up being a part of the staff. We do run a weekly learning community called the Crisis Jam. We featured this Columbus Crisis Care Center in a walkthrough of that facility a few months ago. That program has been seen by over 20,000 people now as this program begins to make a ripple effect throughout the country that this crisis can be responded to differently. And I think we've got time for a question or two. We just are starting season 6 today at noon. Two of the top legislative leaders in the United States, Senator Tina Orwell out of Washington State, that was the first state to pass legislation to fund 988 like we fund 911. And Representative Steve Ellison out of Utah, who is responsible for the idea of 988 nationally. They're going to present a number of bills at noon. CrisisJam.com doesn't work yet. It's our new URL for season 6. It could work today or tomorrow. It's coming. But we would love to have you as part of that learning community. But do we have any question that anyone would like to share or comment? Yes, ma'am.
Repeat for me what population is in that Crisis Jam? What kind of person?
Yeah, so the Crisis Jam is a learning community of people across the country who want to have a full vision of the promise of 988. So we have all 50 states, usually people from mental health departments, counties, state, and local mental health leaders. We have 60 or 70 national organizations involved, and people who are family members, people with lived experience, join in that community because, that paper that I referenced at the outset that laid the groundwork for a national medical emergency response system was republished in 1996, 30 years later. And the preamble to it said, for many of us, we spent our careers building out this ambulance 911 system. And that's what we're all doing now. We're now building out a system for mental health and substance use, and people who are interested in that gather every Wednesday at noon Eastern Time to reflect on what's working, what the examples are.
And is that Zoom or is that in person?
So it is on Zoom. We have a number of ways to participate. So we'll have a 250 people on Zoom today at noon. There'll be another 50 or so that live stream on YouTube. It's technical. We have some people who prefer the YouTube approach. And then we then upload that episode to YouTube afterward. So you can see we've done 230 episodes over the last 5 years. You can see any of those by going to CrisisJam.com and seeing the background. So if you're trying to get to sleep at night and you need some help, we have 130 episodes of Crisis Jam that you can go to.
Thank you.
Time for maybe one more? Any other? Over here. Just a couple of other things I was going to mention while We're waiting for that question. We've had 200 individuals. We're starting the third week right now. About 75% of them have been male. Erica was talking about the suicide rates. That's higher than I would have thought. We've had about 75% have a payer source of some kind. 25 different payer sources to this point. Now, while Ohio is certainly, Columbus is a leader, Ohio is one of those states, like most states, that do not yet have the real system to reimburse for medical crisis services. So we have some services through professional fees that we can bill for, but nowhere near covering the vision of this. So Medicaid and Medicare came out with a statement and a letter to states just in the last couple of weeks. Work is happening at the federal and state levels, but there is a lot of work to do as we build out this new approach across the country. Yes, sir.
You know, where is the crisis care center? Where is it? Columbus.
So 465 Harmon Avenue. The location of these facilities is critical because at the end of the day, when these models first came in Arizona about 15 or 20 years ago now, and they came out of the initiative of two things. One, saving costs, and two, it was driven primarily by frustrated law enforcement who was looking for a better solution for people in a mental health and a substance use emergency. So the location is critical, that it's easier than booking someone into jail. It's easier than relocating the individual. It's certainly easier than waiting in a hospital ED. So Chief Bryant, location here, this is working for you guys? Yeah. When you saw in the video, you saw the drone come up and show downtown. So we can throw a rock and hit it, Erica?
How many miles? 1.5 miles.
1.5 miles from right here. Thank you so much. We're looking forward to doing this together. We ran an innovative program in right outside of Tacoma, Washington for many, many years. And Optum Health there sometimes it was once a week. We would have visitors from around the country, around the world. That program didn't touch what this one promises to this community. So Jonathan, my guess is you're going to be a busy man over the course of the coming years.
Thanks, David.
Thank you.
Sorry, too many pages. Thank you, David, for that informative presentation. I'm Amanda Wattenberg, Chair of the Provider Leadership Association. The Provider Leadership Association is a group of leaders here in Franklin County that work together through cooperation and collaboration to improve the quality of publicly funded behavioral health care services. Each year, the Provider Leadership Association recognizes the passion and dedication of interns in the behavioral health field through our memorial scholarships. I'm pleased to present this year's recipients. When I call your name, please come to the stage for a photo. Leah Sachs with Ohio Guidestone is the Tom Ramsire Memorial Award winner. Congratulations. Zachary Asa, also with Ohio Guidestone, is one of two recipients of the William B. George Memorial Award. Also receiving the William B. George Memorial Award is Ellen Ferguson with Concord Counseling Services. Congratulations to this year's Scholarship Award winners. You are the future of this important workforce. Now please welcome back to the stage, Erica Clark-Jones.
Thanks, Amanda, and congratulations to the scholarship recipients. I hope we see you in one of our future programs. So as we transition to the awards portion of the program, I'd like to take this time to share a special recognition, which may come as a surprise to some, but not so much to others. The Adam H. Board is only as strong as its partnerships. I think you've heard that and seen that demonstrated this morning through the remarks of so many. And positive change in our community is the result of many people leading and working together. Today, I would like to recognize an individual who leads by example. She embodies that spirit of collaboration, and that is someone I like to call my friend. She's my guide, and that is Miss Linda Jakes, Executive Director for Concord Counseling Services. Before we bring Linda up, I get to brag on her just a little bit. Linda has served Concord for 38 years in various roles, right? And she will be departing for a well-earned retirement at the end of this year. Linda is a true servant leader. She has been a strong advocate for Adam H. and a guiding force for our network of care and the entire behavioral health field here in Central Ohio. We are grateful for her service as past chair of the Provider Leadership Association, including representing Adam H. providers during the process of a sometimes sticky negotiating a significant contract change in 2025. Linda's leadership in Adam H.'s Behavioral Health Workforce Council has also been extraordinary. She serves as the chair of the Recruitment and Retention Work Group, guiding this group with an energy that has inspired her colleagues and partners alike. Her leadership helped bring to life Pathways to Practice initiative, as we mentioned earlier. And in her newest role as the co-chair for the Adam H. Levy campaign, Linda used her remarkable talent to energize others to bring the vital support that we need to get this levy passed. Linda is more than this list of roles and accomplishments. This only scratches the surface of her contributions and who she is as a person. She is someone who is incredibly grounded, rooted in service. Linda believes that everyone has value and proves this daily through her actions. Linda, on behalf of the Adam H. Board of Franklin County, I want to say how grateful we are for your service, how grateful I am for your service and your friendship. Please join me on the stage to accept this award.
Wow. Number of years ago, I went to see a Hindu astrologist who told me a lot of things. But one of the things that she said was that I had a very fortunate life this time. And she was right. So I want to say I'm honored to have worked with a group that an agency that I am so passionate about, and also honored that I got to be on this journey with all of you. So I walk away a proud person, and you guys keep on keeping on.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Thank you, my friend. And now I have the honor to bring to the stage, as soon as I see my notes, I know him, but I don't want to mess anything up. It's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Wesley Moore to introduce this year's 2025 Adam H. Annual Awards. Wesley?
Good morning, everybody. Let me get to my... All righty. How Hi, everyone. I am the transportation coordinator at St. Vincent Family Services. As a 2024 recipient of the Extraordinary Mile Award, I am honored to be able to help announce the 2025 Adam H. Awards for outstanding contributions. I just want to say from my experience from last year, to be honored by an organization who serving people is who they are and not just what they do, had an impact on me that I didn't think it would. When you live a life of service, you get used to being the cheerleader. You get used to being the one who likes to honor others. And then so you don't even look at being cheered or being honored. But I found myself being one of the joys I've had in the last few years receiving that award. Give you a quick little backstory. In my office, I don't keep much. I ain't got no pictures of my wife. I ain't got no pictures of my kids. People come in and look at me like, what's wrong with you? I got a paper fetish, so I got papers everywhere in a digital age. But the one thing now when you walk in my office, you will see is that Adam H. Award that I received last year. The honor to be able to be honored by those who believe in what you believe in service. We were put here to serve one another. Once you find your purpose, everything else falls into place. And then you don't have to search or look for recognition or what's in it. It will come in the midst of you just doing what you were put here to do. And I thank Adam H. For that opportunity which you have bestowed and continue to bestow. And I thank all the partners and everyone else. Thank you. These awards represent a snapshot of the dedicated professionals who work across the Adam H. Network and Central Ohio community. We'll now premiere this year's video highlighting 5 award recipients. After the video, Jonathan Thomas, Adam H. Chief Operating Officer, will come to the stage to announce each winner and give you the opportunity to give these individuals a round of applause. Thank you so very much.
The 2025 Adam H. Awards honor the individuals and organizations in the behavioral health system who consistently exceed expectations in their work, their volunteerism, and their advocacy to support the Franklin County community. The Collaborative Partner Award honors an individual who goes above and beyond to promote collaboration and coordination among human services organizations. The 2025 award goes to Margaret Springer, Vice President of Integrated Care Services at the Buckeye Ranch. In her role, Margaret fosters connection between internal teams and external partners to strengthen services for youth and families. In July 2022, Margaret helped launch the Care Management Entity Program, establishing the Buckeye Ranch as one of Ohio's first and most successful CMEs. Under her guidance, the program has grown into the largest in Ohio, now serving nearly 2,000 youth. Margaret continues to build a skilled team to help families navigate public programs and overcome daily challenges. Margaret is also a steadfast advocate for cross-sector collaboration among nonprofits, county and state agencies, and community systems. Thank you and congratulations, Margaret.
I got a position here at the Buckeye Ranch working in our day treatment program and was like, wow, I really love working with these kids. And I wanted to do more. So I went back to school and got my master's in social work and came back here again as a clinician. And from that day, I've loved the Buckeye Ranch. I've loved the mission of our work, raising hope and healing for kids and families. And it's really cool to do that with teams that are as passionate about the mission as I am. I think this award is really great because it celebrates collaboration and working with partners, and our work here at the ranch is really big. We've got a lot of kids and a lot of families that have unique needs in our community, and the best way to do that is together because that's how we can have the most impact. So really this award means a lot because it's how we do our best work, and I'm super proud of that. There's so many people to thank for this award. Really, my team members. They are the best, and they are as passionate about working together to provide hope to kids and families, and how can you not be energized by that every day? So really, it's my teams that I get to work with every day that are just the best, and our leadership here at the ranch, and just every person that I get to work with here I'm thankful for that, because I wouldn't be able to do this work and collaborate with everybody to serve kids and families if we didn't do it together.
The Clinical Excellence Award honors an individual with a proven track record of excellence in the field of clinical care and client care for people with addictions. The 2025 award goes to Dr. Peggy Williams, Associate Clinical Professor at The Ohio State University, Wexner Medical Center. Dr. Williams leads with a compassionate, trauma-informed approach. Her advocacy for greater social work support and integrated care led to the creation of an addiction medicine consult service. Today, she and her team deliver patient-centered, evidence-based addiction care to thousands across OSU hospitals. Beyond her clinical impact, Dr. Williams is also dedicated to education, leading monthly trainings, developing clinical guidelines, and ensuring her colleagues and students stay current in addiction medicine. Through her dedication and mentorship, Dr. Williams is shaping the future of addiction care within OSU hospitals and throughout the medical community. Thank you and congratulations, Dr. Williams.
My favorite part of the job is working as a team with our social workers, our nurse practitioners, our peer recovery supporters. And I really enjoy working with the patients, because a lot of times they may have had negative experiences in the healthcare setting or haven't had their substance use disorder addressed as a chronic illness. And it feels really good when patients actually start to feel a little better and feel more hopeful and believe in their chances of recovery. It's great to know that organizations like Adam H. Recognize that it takes, teams everywhere working to combat addiction and the stigma associated with addiction. A person that I'd really like to thank is our team's original social worker. His name was Mohammed Kande. He really taught me a lot. He taught all of our colleagues a lot about how to treat substance use disorders, about resources available in the community, and about treating patients with dignity and welcoming them back every time they come to the hospital, even if they had lapsed or relapsed, always giving patients another chance.
The Peer Advocate Award honors an individual who has demonstrated a long-term commitment to improve the quality of life for people in Franklin County or in a specific neighborhood. The 2025 award goes to Michael Kraus, Executive Director of Ohio Peer Recovery Organizations. Under Michael's leadership, Ohio Pro has become a vital leader in elevating both peer recovery organizations and the individuals they serve within the state. Michael draws deeply from his own recovery journey, including his time at the House of Hope for Recovery, which he credits with laying the foundation for his work. Committed to advancing the field, he has developed multiple learning opportunities to support the professional growth among peer supporters across Ohio. Michael's impact is felt in every corner of the state, where his work continues to shape the future of recovery through education, empowerment, and lived experience. Thank you and congratulations, Michael.
As the Executive Director of a statewide advocacy organization, we support peer-run organizations across the state and do a lot of programming that's designed specifically for certified peer recovery supporters. What I love most about leading an organization that's an advocacy organization for peer and recovery supports is I'm passionate about recovery supports. I know as a person with a lived experience that it wasn't until I had support from people with whom I shared a lived experience that I was able to find recovery. So I know how critically important recovery supports are to the wellness of Ohioans. I was sharing with some of my board members earlier that this award is meaningful to me for a number of reasons. One, it's always humbling to receive recognition for the work you do, but to receive it from an organization that I admire and the community in which I live makes the honor extra special.
The Kevin Dixon Champion of Diversity Award honors the work that Dr. Kevin Dixon advanced during his 34 years of service to Adam H. The 2025 award goes to ETSS Tewahedo Social Services Community Health and Wellness Team for leading accessible, culturally appropriate services to improve behavioral health care in underserved communities. With staff representing over 25 countries and speaking more than 50 languages, their services are both easy to access and culturally sensitive. The team has built a trusted service model that bridges persistent health disparities, especially among new Americans, refugees, and low-income populations. These community health workers are not only expanding access, they are helping normalize conversations around mental health in communities where such topics have long been stigmatized. Their work is a powerful example of responsive, community-centered care. Thank you and congratulations, ETSS team.
Just to tell you the background of ETSS or Tawahido means that coming together as one. And this oneness creates the responsibility to support each other and build our community together. That's the whole principle of what Tawahido means. Our community health and wellness team run the Community Health and Wellness Navigator program, which is really spreading out for mental health prevention and crisis coordination, and then alleviating different barriers of social determinants of health in various areas. So they help day to day spreading out what mental health prevention means and then connecting with resources for our clients and communities that we're serving. The team that I really appreciate for this, number one, my community and health and wellness team in general, under the leadership of Susan Schaeffer and Dennis and Jet and all my team really working hard on this. Even Dr. Kevin Dixon, because he's the one who opens the door for us and then all the way through the process brings us to this stage.
The Mitzi Kirkbride Extraordinary Mile Award, named in honor of longtime Adam H. board member and community advocate, recognizes an individual who has contributed to addressing the mental health and addiction recovery needs of Franklin County residents through their extraordinary efforts. The 2025 award goes to Jennifer Sheets, Director of Clinical Data and Quality at Concord Counseling Services. Since joining Concord in 2000 as a case manager, Jennifer has played a pivotal role in shaping the organization's success. Jennifer is widely recognized for her precision, integrity, and unwavering attention to detail. Her colleagues describe her as a direct and supportive mentor. Her leadership has not only enhanced internal systems, but also elevated Concord's reputation across the community. Above all, Jennifer leads with a belief in the dignity, worth, and potential of every person she serves. Thank you and congratulations, Jennifer.
Involved in a lot of aspects of the agency, and as long as I've been here, it really gives me a good history and insight into the needs of the agency, the needs of the staff, the needs of the clients. Favorite part of my job is really trying to make things easier and better for our staff, the staff that go out there, all our staff, of course, but the ones that are going out providing the direct services with clients. I really look at what can I do to make their jobs easier. If I can change a process, if I can change a form, if I can keep doing that and building on that, that's what I really love to do is, when they come back and they go, oh my gosh, that has made such a difference. Definitely would want to thank, of course, the Adam Board and the colleagues that nominated me. That they thought of me really means a lot. On a personal level, of course, I would want to thank my mother, who has been there for me, every step of the way. Her support allowed me to go back to school to become a social worker. I was a single mother with an infant, and only because of her help and support was I able to do that. So I wouldn't be here without that. And really on a professional level, I absolutely have to thank Linda Jakes. I've been in this field for 29 years, and we have worked together for 27 of those years.
Good morning, everybody. I have the distinct pleasure, Jonathan Thomas, Chief Operating Officer for Adam H., for those who may not know me. I have the distinct pleasure of closing out our event today, and we're going to be recognizing those same individuals. They'll be coming on stage here in a moment. But before we do that, as we saw with the last award that was just announced, the Extraordinary Mile Award that was delivered last year has been renamed in honor of Mitzi Kirkbride, who is our former Adam H. trustee. And Mitzi ended her term with Adam H. last year after 5 terms on the Adam H. board, which, while I don't know all of the Adam H. boards around the state, but I have a sneaking suspicion that's probably one of the longest serving individuals that an Adam H. board in Ohio has had. And we have benefited immensely from Mitzi's service. During Mitzi's time on the board, she helped make Adam H. make many wise investments of resources to enhance the continuum of care, and served in many roles, including vice chair of the board. So Mitzi, if you would, whether you choose to either sit or stand and be recognized for your dedication throughout the years and your efforts, which will have a lasting impact on our community. On a personal note, when I saw Mitzi this morning, she did have a question for me, which I loved, and I was ecstatic that she was the first one to ask a question to David's presentation. For those of you who have had the joy of attending our Adam H. board meetings, Mitzi is an excellent question asker and is always keeping the staff accountable and making sure that what we're doing is in the best interest of the community. So now for the award winners that have already been named, when I call your name, please come up on stage, receive your award, and remain on stage until all of the award winners are here for one more photo before we then, I'll have some closing remarks. So for the Mitzi Kirkbride Extraordinary Mile Award, which you saw was awarded to Jennifer Sheets, Jennifer's not here, so we're actually gonna ask Linda to rejoin us on stage to accept that award. Don't skip the award. Again, the Clinical Excellence Award for Dr. Peggy Williams. The Collaborative Partner Award to Margaret Springer. The Peer Advocate Award to Michael Kraus. And the Kevin Dixon Champion of Diversity Award, as was acknowledged, goes to ETSS's Community Health and Wellness team. So we're going to ask Dr. Celeschi to accept that award on his team's behalf. Now please acknowledge all of our award winners as they get another photo taken. Thank you. Thank you. So as we wrap up, I want to, yeah, please take your seat. Thank you. A lot of my remarks will be brief because the spirit of what I would say has been acknowledged by most of the speakers before me. So I just want to thank all of you for being here in attendance. Thank all of our partners, those who are in the room, those who are not, those who are in the Adam H. network, or if you're in the Adam H. family, which basically means you're in our community, for working together to strengthen our community-based continuum of care. I want to add a special thanks to Chief Bryant and David for their remarks today and sharing some of their insights. I hope everyone has seen and felt that we have made real progress with the efforts this year. And while the focus has been on supporting people in crisis, as was acknowledged in Erica's remarks, the crisis continuum is part of a much broader continuum. The success we've been celebrating today has been the result of years of hard work and collaborations, and every agency and organization represented in this room has had a role in that. It's been a privilege in my role in supporting the development and implementation of the Franklin County Crisis Care Center to see just how powerful Franklin County can be when we gather together around a common challenge. It's also been acknowledged that there's more work ahead. So I know it's not lost on anyone in the audience today that we have a lot of work ahead of us, but hopefully you have a sense that we have a solid foundation and we are in a position now to move forward with clarity and purpose to continue to do what is necessary for our community. So thank you all for being here today. Before you head out and resume whatever is ahead of you on this beautiful Wednesday morning, please stop at the Friends of Adam H. table on your way out. And again, thanks for joining us for our annual meeting. Have a great day.